Can anyone catch them, do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, unbelievable. We didn't expect that.
Hi everyone. So this is the FPL video series. Am I getting this right, Ellen, or am I screwing this up with?
No. I normally say FPL podcast.
So this
Welcome to the FPL world, Picasso.
it is becoming really difficult to start off with. But yeah, this is the FPL podcast that we have been doing for quite some time. Ellen has been doing the amazing work in this. Thank you, Ellen, for hosting this and coming up with so much points. It's a really nice one. People have been actually giving us good reviews, and that is true people, not just our people, like not the paid media that we are using. This is actually true people who are giving us great reviews of the FPL episodes that you have been doing. So this time I would like to thank you, and also let's go ahead and start about what this game week that you are going to present or we are going to talk about, right? So we've been talking about the agenda and everything. So we would talk about the leaderboards because obviously we do have our gifts and stuff for the leaders
at the end of the season.
At the end of the season, mid of the season, we do have other stuff. So we would talk about the leaderboards and then the captain choices and the free hit team. I'm pretty much not sure what we are going to talk about, but I am excited to host this. So Ellen, before we start, I am an FPL novice, not a great person in this. So if I am doing something wrong, please drive it forward. Please redirect it and do everything right. So let's start about the league's leaderboard and stuff. So this is for the last game week 5. Ilaverson and Bob, both of them got 74 points with the lead, and coming in third position or second position, if you consider first is tied, then it will be second position is Venkatesh Kumar with 73 points. I mean, well done, guys.
Just to add here, because last game week, right, to get 74, 73 is a huge achievement because many of the known players are the players whom we expect to play. For example, TAA, Robertson, or even if you take the other teams, many people didn't play. For example, Torres from City, who was expected to be a number 9 and he didn't play at all. Like this, right? The team which had good bench, because at the beginning of the season, many people didn't have bench in their team. Who had good bench only were able to get points. And the average was around 50, 55. So to get 74 last week, right, was a really good achievement.
So it's if you are having a Manchester City off FPL team, then you could have gotten good points. Is that what you are trying to say, Ellen?
No, not only Manchester City. Last time Liverpool didn't play many of its players, which was surprise.
Yeah.
For example, Matip didn't play. Out of the back four, only Van Dijk started, and the other three didn't start at all. So that was a big thing. And then Manchester City, always there will be rotations. So people are aware of that, and when they take their teams. But say Rafinha was substituted in between. There were a lot more things. Antonio was suspended and he cannot play last week. So there were a lot of people who were not available in most of the teams. Many people found it difficult to get even 11 players with scoring points last time. Even if you take goalkeeper, right? Watford, Backman, all of a sudden, not Watford. Backman was all of a sudden not available at all. And Foster played for him, and looks like this week also it's going to be the same.
Okay, so regarding the overall top 3 positions, I think Gagandeep Sahota, he has been holding the number 1 spot for some time, isn't it?
Right from the game week, he's holding it. But the points gap is getting reduced with each game week. Now it is less than 10 points. And Manikam and Tanmay, right? They are swapping places. Last week, Tanmay was second, Manikam was third. And Tanmay was having around 4 points or 5 points lead. But now this week, right, Manikam has overtaken Tanmay with just a single point. So it's a very close fight. Gagan's lead was like very huge at the beginning, was like around 20, 25 at the very first pick, or 15, 20. Because like there were other people, like the people who are second, third now, right? I'm comparing with them and I'm saying 15, 20 point gap. But there were others who were close with him at that time. But like these people have now caught up with Gagan. So next 2-3 weeks, we might know the real leader. Like maybe Gagan might be overthrown. Or Gagan has already done his wild card. So his new team might start scoring more points too.
Well, I mean, it's a very, very close fight.
A very competitive league. It's very competitive
very,
league.
very competitive league. And I'm excited to see what is happening because, just not for the top three. I'm just looking at the points and going through it and seeing that it's very close. Even down from the third position onwards, it's very close. People are fighting very close. And it's a nice one to have. So regarding the overall points, we do have a bench game week point. So we have Venkatesh Kumar with 68 points leading there, and then Bob is again with 61 points, sitting really comfortable in the second position, and Vijay S has 47 points in the bench. Bob is actually the one who's leading in the first, leading this game.
And Venkatesh in the second. Venkatesh was second. And if you see them, right, like they get a bench point of 68 in 5 game weeks, right, is close to 12 points each game week. See, if you add the 68 to that total, right, like they'll be like fighting in the top 3 or top 5. Both Bob and Venkatesh. And like even this week, right, like I was surprised to see like Venkatesh still had, like, even after scoring 73 points, he still had 10 points in bench. And in case of Bob also, he still had 8 points in bench. So that is the strength they have. Like the team is like overall 15 is good. I think like where they make mistakes is like they put the good guys in the bench and like they play the bad guys in the starting level. That's the mistake they do. Or it's, they are like big people like to be in the top 5 or top 10 contenders.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why we thought we would have to give a gift at least for the bench points overall thing, and that is actually very close, 1-5-2. And regarding the leaderboard for game week winner, I think we have Gagandeep with two wins, and that's why he's on top. And then you have Raghuram with 1 win, Yash with 1 win, and Ilavasan and Bob with one win each.
Yes.
So it's kind of it's still really early days, 5 weeks. So it's kind of
another 33 weeks to go. So it can change.
Yeah, so it's split now because each game week would be a different winner. So it's all 1-1-1. When it becomes 2-1-3, that's when it's going to pick up. When people are going to win multiple game weeks, that's when it's going to pick up. So that's another table that I'm looking forward to. But that's enough with the league in itself. So let's talk about the upcoming game week. This is all. So Ellen, for one of the important things with FPL, at least to my understanding, is the captain that we have to talk about, right? So every game week, your captain would be able to get you more in terms of points, in terms of where you end up in the leaderboard and stuff like that. So tell me about like the captain choices that we can have for this game week.
Yeah, and because what I will also do is, like, since you said you are a novice, like I'll explain like why I'm selecting certain players and why I'm not putting it.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for doing.
Yeah, the first thing I look into is, let's see, there are premium players who will definitely be captains. For example, Ronaldo, Lukaku, Salah kind of players. Next thing is like we'll have to see the fixture difficulty. So if you see the fixture difficulties, right? Chelsea plays City this week. See, with Tuchel, right? Like even Mendy is like getting like what to say? Not Mendy. Who's that guy? I forgot that goalie. Kepa in full play. He also keeps clean sheets. He does penalty shootout saves, and like he's also improving under Tuchel. And Tuchel, I saw one record in 14 games. Like he has like 15 clean sheets and 14 goals conceded so far.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like Chelsea, right? Like is normally a dependable what to say, like
for clean sheets and stuff,
defenders or this thing. But like they are playing against City, who are going to score goals. So this game, right, like can be like a 1-0 or a 1-1 draw kind of game. So like I have like not gone into any of the Chelsea or City assets. City normally they rotate also, that's a risk. Chelsea defenders rotate also, that's again a risk. But I don't expect Lukaku also to definitely score a goal. So that's why like you will not see City or Chelsea as well. So normally we go and see the relatively easier teams. And like we also try to see the premiums. So if you see the premiums, right, like Ronaldo is the first premium. If you leave out Lukaku in the strikers, the other one is like Kane, who is having a tough fixtures against Arsenal, like who has started keeping clean sheets after Ramsdale came into picture. Like the last 2 game weeks, like he hasn't conceded. And if you see like even the League Cup included in that, the previous League Cup game, it's 3 games under Ramsdale we haven't considered a goal. And those 3 were the first 3 games for Ramsdale. And that's a stat like that was linked with Chesney. When he started his career with Arsenal, right, he played 3 league games, not Premier League, and he kept clean sheets. After that, Ramsdale has only done it. So that's a risky game. See, even though Kane regularly scores against against Arsenal, he scores mostly in penalties against us. But there could be a sign with his current defenders, right, and the goalie, like we might not concede a penalty with VAR also available now. So that's why like I haven't gone to Kane also. So that leave out with like few people as like your premium strikers like Ronaldo and Vardy. I've given Ronaldo as a captain choice because many people will also have him for 2 reasons. See, leave the West Ham games where many people didn't play for United. But if you take leave that one out, right, and if you take the Premier League alone when they play their full strength team, they are scoring goals at a very good rate. This year it is more like it's okay if we concede also. They are trying to be like a City, like they want to score more goals. And both United and Ronaldo are in good form. So that is why like I have gone for like Ronaldo as the first option. And if you see that, right, like they also, if you take Aston Villa, they were also conceding more goals. They've so far considered 8 goals in that 5 games. Even though they have not played like a relatively tougher opposition in the first 3 game weeks. But still they have conceded 8. So I expect Ronaldo to score goals there. Other area where like equal to Ronaldo, like in the captainship choice for this week is Antonio. He's coming back from a break. He's fully fit. And he's playing against a team of like Leeds who doesn't have their main defenders either by injury or by like suspensions. As well as they doesn't have Rafinha and Bamford also. Rafinha is 50-50 at the moment. And Bamford is like completely like out of the like what to say.
And also Leeds usually go for it, so they don't care about they don't care about conceding as much as they care about attacking. So there is a high chance that there is going to be goals in it, even though the game is going to end up with high score line, or even if not, there is going to be goals in it. So that kind of makes sense.
And Antonio, like before the suspension, right, in the first 4 games, he was the maximum points getter. Salah was the first to score 50 points because like he played one more game after that and he got that 50. But Antonio was the real informed player. Like so he definitely there'll be a goal or assist for him. So Ronaldo and like Antonio, if you ask me, they are 50-50. Like you can put any one of them and like there could be more chances for you to get good points as your captain. And then like Vardy is again another not the common choice, but like Vardy is also in good form relatively this season. And like he like Leicester are having a relatively easy game too. So I expect Vardy to like score goals too. I think they play against Burnley, who's yet to score more, or like you can like play with it. And then like Liverpool assets, right? Like I'm talking about attackers. I'm not talking about the defensive. If you want to captain like Trent Alexander-Arnold, you can still captain him because they are playing against Brentford. So there is good chance for them to keep a clean sheet. But like I'm not saying for the attacking people like Salah, Mane, or Jota, right? Like don't captain them. The reason being is like Salah is Salah. He can still score a goal and he can do good things. But he's playing against a Brentford team who, in the recent 4-5 games, right, have shown they are capable of defending. So there is a possibility for Salah not to score or like this thing. So it's a risk. When there are other good options, it's better not to go captain Salah.
And also Brentford is more what do you call it? Very aerial threat kind of team, aerially shutting down kind of team. So the cross and score technique
set pieces thing also might not be more like TAA or this thing. So that's why I've like asked people to be like not captain any Liverpool asset for this week. But again, finally during the game week anything can happen and anybody can do things.
we
But
can only try and control the predictions. We cannot predict what is going to happen. So we are trying to come up with a logical explanation of what can happen. Yeah, I get it.
And the next two options I've given is they are differential captains. Like people whom you call as differential captains are captains whom not many people will captain. So if they click right, you'll be having a big boost.
Yeah.
See, when you take Ronaldo, 90% people will captain him. If you don't captain him, you might lose points and you might go relatively back. But the differential people are the people who generally take you to a different level. But there is always a risk because they can fail also. But I've gone for Zaga. Zaga is not having a real good season so far, compared to the usual standards. But he has always scored against Brighton in the last few years. So that's why I have picked him as a differential thing. There's always a risk, but there is a possibility for you to get some goals from him too.
Yeah.
And then Watford, if you see the last game week also, they played well. This week they are playing against Newcastle, who are conceding goals like anything this season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's again another area where Ismail Sarr or Dennis Suarez might be a differential pick for you.
Yeah,
based
and
on
also,
the opponents.
and also Watford had a good EFL game against Spurs in the midweek and kind of took it to the penalties. And so, or is it Wolves?
Yeah, that's true.
Is it Watford or
Wolves?
Wolves.
Wolves
my mistake. Sorry. Yeah.
So, Wolves was Spurs. No, Watford was good. Last game week, they played really well. Mm-hmm. And normally, right, Leeds playing against West Ham, I would have included Leeds also. But Leeds, the only better options are Bamford and Rafinha. Bamford is out of this game week and Rafinha is still 50-50. And even without many of their players, right, I will not suggest Rafinha because it's again it or miss only with him again, because he's coming back from injury, so he might not be playing to his full potential, as well as a lot of team members are missing. So or else, right, Leeds and West Ham are the teams which has good fixtures relatively. So with respect to this thing.
So with that in mind, Ellen, I would ask you this question, right? If Leeds are having so many uncertainties, and we know some players are missing in Liverpool, we know that there is a lot of injuries, suspensions, and everything that's happening. With that in mind, do we go for a free hit team? If we could give some tips on that, one would be good.
Yeah. Before that, I will also add one more thing, and then I'll go for that.
Mm-hmm.
See, with respect to Bamford, right, there are a lot of recent questions that I've got from few people that whether they should leave him out or transfer him, or whether they should retain him. Mm-hmm. See, this is exactly same as what I said for Antonio last week. You can retain him if your bench is good. If your bench is not good, get him and get somebody Antonio or someone into your team and proceed it, depending upon whom you are. But if your bench is good, right, let's say even if he's going to have a lengthy layoff of 3 or 4 weeks, after this game week, you have the game week 7. After that, there's an international break.
Yeah.
So maximum he might miss 1 or 2 game weeks only. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to have big price loss with him because he has just recently he has shooted up to had an increase of 0.1. Mm-hmm. So it's better to retain him because his pictures are relatively good. But if you don't have a good bench, it's good to move him out. And speaking on that same thing, right? If you don't have a bench and he can come back after the international break, you can also do the free. See, free it what it does is you can modify your entire team for that game week alone, focusing on that game week alone. And once that game week is gone, you can get the team back. Generally, people do that at the second half of the season, but if you want, you can do that also. So what I have done is, I have tried to create a free team for this week alone, so that some people, if they want to do a free, they have some idea here. So if you said, right, at the beginning itself, I said, I'm going for this game week alone. So if you see that fixture-wise a difficulty, right, as I said, Watford is playing against Newcastle. So I have 2 Watford players. And then Antonio is playing against Leeds and Benrahma also. So I've gone for those guys because they can have good attacking returns. And I said against Aston Villa, United might score. So I've gone for United assets too. And Salah is Salah. he may do things this thing, but like I just have him like this thing as well as PAA for that matter. In the defense and goalie, right? I've gone to Southampton assets. The reason being, like Southampton are playing against Wolves, even though Wolves have like series of good fixtures, like they are at the moment not scoring any goals at all. So I expect a clean sheet there. So that's why I've gone for like McCarthy and Livermore from Southampton, and the United assets are like Ronaldo, Pogba, and Shaw. Liverpool, like I've got Trent Alexander, because against Brentford, I think they will definitely keep a clean sheet. Yeah. And then Salah, because these are the two people who might score also, so that's why I've picked them. And from Watford, I have taken Sarr and Dennis. They're attacking two players, like their forward and their main attacker, and then Antonio and Benrahma here. So that's how I've got the entire team. And the Duffy and like Westergaard, like say Duffy is like again based on the price, like a filler, but like he's also regularly doing good things. And Brighton is at like top off of the table, like, or even you can say the top 6 of the table. And then Westergaard, why I have taken is like Leicester are playing against Burnley, where they are like having like good aerial things. Last year in Southampton, right, like he was really good aerially, Westergaard. So I expect Leicester to score goals through like some aerial set pieces or this thing.
Yeah.
And like because even though Burnley is good at defending, I expect Westergaard to do like an headed goal or something. So that's more like a punt. But other than that, the entire team is on this thing. And I've gone for a 4-goalie Foster because like of Backman's might not play this week also. Saying about that, like the formation I'll be playing is a 3-4-3. Where like I'll have like Alexander-Arnold, Shaw, and Livermore in the defense, McCarthy in goal, and then like Sarr, Salah, Pogba, and Benrahma is the midfield, and Antonio, Ronaldo, and Dennis as strikers. I missed out Gray. Why I've given is like Everton relatively have good fixtures. Even this week they have relatively good fixture, and they don't have both Richarlison and DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So Gray will be like playing. He's already playing in a more advancing role this season. So the next few games, at least, like he will be the main focal point along with Rondon. So that's why I thought like he will score more goals, and that's why I have him as like for this thing. But again, Gray, Westergaard, Foster are my subs along with Duffy. So this is the free team I'll play because I think like they'll get maximum points this week. But then like free it, like you can modify and you can get any number of good teams. This is just like one example for people like who are like needing some advice.
Yeah. This is just like the whole point of this FPL episodes is just to give people the idea of what
some
is
ideas,
going through,
like,
and then they could take their own decisions. They could kind of like, oh, this is how people think, and that's what I am taking away from it, right? Like I am a very novice at FPL, and what I am taking away is like, oh, this is how I should think, or this is what I could consider. This makes sense. That's how my mind is working when you are explaining this to me. Thank you, Ellen, for this, like for the captain and the free hit team, and thank you for putting in so much effort. I mean, you could see what you are doing. I mean, it's amazing. Thank you so much, and we will talk again. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the one more thing, like say this is again like a kind request from my side too, because since you are a novice, you might have a lot more questions. So if you guys have any questions, say or it could be anything, like say for example, like now you know like Kane is like premium asset, like or you can say like Salah or Kane, like do you want a comparison like for the next set of fixtures and like how they are going to, or if you ask like say for example now like you have like this game week we are saying about captain, right? But like say if you want to do a transfer and you are in doubtful like whom to do, you can ask those kind of questions to me in comments or like the other way, and like I will be able to explain that, and if needed, right, I can put a detailed analysis on that and share it in the podcast also.
Absolutely.
So, like anybody who's like not only you, like anybody who has those kind of questions, they can like comment in the comment section, and I can answer them like even for this game week or the future game weeks also.
Absolutely. There you go, folks. So we have been saying this to like, share, and subscribe, but also like comment, ask questions. in our social media platforms or on YouTube, anywhere that you feel you can reach out to us. Ellen is here. He is actually, I mean, you could see the work that he has done. He is actually a very good, person who could answer a lot of questions, who has a lot of knowledge in what he is doing. So yeah, you could comment your questions. You could send us your question in Twitter. You could reach out to us in, any of the social media platforms. We do have an Instagram, we do have a Facebook account and everything. So reach out anywhere to have your questions answered, or if you want something focused, just let us know. Or if you want to give us suggestions, what could be improved, what could be done, you could also get, let us know on that. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you for joining in. It's been really nice having you, and thank you so much for putting everything together.
Thank you, Peter, sir.